Well, hello and welcome. We're back for another episode of Malarian. So let's go over here first. Recall last time we went into the Tam Tam Deep Croft and cleared out what looked like a giant squid. It was a relief to call upon a capable adventurer. Guild is constantly inundated with petitions, hard pressed to find enough hands. So there's no shortage of work and lots of opportunity for the experienced to overreach themselves with predictable consequences. Oh. Now, if you'll remember, well, I suffered you for your healing. You couldn't even do that one thing right. Oh, and she brought back Avery's head. Bury it, cremate it, do whatever. Stop carrying around. If you remember right, these were the people that we met, that we saw for a couple moments after Sestasha. They were right outside Sestasha. Grateful for adventurers like us. Oh, so now we're going back to Ul'dah. But first we're going to complete this. We have one other thing we got to do before we go to Ul'dah. Chances are she'll send you into the midst of danger, but I have every confidence you'll pull through unscathed. Well, I mean, don't know about entirely unscathed, but first, since we're in the area, as you can see, we've upgraded our gear a little bit for a botanist, but we have the carbonized matter. And thus do we go to the Botanist's Guild. Doot, doot, doot. It's actually an interesting little coif she's got on. And that is what they call it. They call it a cotton coif. I do like the chest piece. I'm not sure about the legs, though. I mean, I can have better pants, but I do like the one thing. So 99 fragments of grade 1 carbonized matter. I've got a second order for that, so you'll have to deal. Art of crafting with materia is yet new. It's born of our shores from a goblin scholar named Mutamix. Put simply, the process begins with extracting materia from old gear. This is then attached to another piece of gear and enhancing the item's properties. Mind you, it's not as if any half-wit can do the attaching. No, it takes a skilled craftsman with the necessary knowledge and experience. And the process also required materials known as catalysts. The carbonized matter you've gathered is one substance. Then they discovered a way to attach material without the stuff, and we botanists had a little more idle for it, such as the way of progress. If you want to know more, perhaps even try your hand at crafting with materia, I suggest you seek out the Goblin Mutamix. Keep in mind that materia comes with a great many varieties, each granting unique benefits to the gear attached to it. Dare say you'll lose count of all the kinds you'll come across. It's pretty easy to keep track of. So now, I say we'll grab these slops because I don't have them. Do 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 do. Those are very red. What color? Okay, that's Dalamud red. That is very, very red. I'll pick up the quest for this since I'm here. Times 2,000 fine quality sprigs of chamomile. Of course, I jest. The task of the scale will require more than 2 hands. If you'd be so curious to say 15 sprigs. Alright. So we've got that. We're going to swap over to Miner and equip those pants. And then we're going to return. And we'll go to the botanist. Oh, no, we're not botanists. We're miners at the moment. I forgot. So we'll turn in this quickly. Yep. I know. 99 fragments. And she's going to say pretty much the same thing. Who used to depend on the land to supply them with catalyst. The catalyst free mending was discovered, and we lost not a small source of work. Well, that's just progress. So this one's yellow, but we don't need any of these. We're good. So I'm going to grab that. Effervescent water. How did there be no ginger cookies, crumpets, blood currant tarts? As you may have gathered, I'm fond of the odd sweeter 3. Effervescent water good for more than just baking. A lot of miners use it to drop. Ask for a drop of it in their drinks. Makes the stronger stuff that bit more refreshing. Let me tell you, there's nothing better to wash away the dust of a hard day's mining. Came to learn about mining, and so you shall by procuring some effervescent water. Need 15 bottles of high quality stuff. I can make out they themselves are scrambling to fill an urgent order of Natron for the Bismarck and Limsa. It's one of Eorzea's finest restaurants, in case you didn't know. Alright, so we'll get to that when we get to it. Back to thaumaturge. Now we have two things that we got to do while we're here. The first is we're going to go back to our thaumaturge's guild. Make sure I don't have any new gear. Nope, we're good on gear at the moment. Ooh, tooth staghorn, man. Yeah, the gear's about equal to what we're using. And More Watchful says Kokobuki told us the dreadful business of Kokobusi. It terrifies me to see her eldest so indecisive. So, would not do to call upon my thaumaturge colleagues. No, they would simply seek to obliterate my brother outright. Our teachings from the yawning abyss allow for no other alternative. There is, however, one tiny glimmer of hope. We've had word of the scholars that request the destruction of Mormo's urn have returned from their expedition. Currently in Camp Drybone, blowing the ink dry on their collective findings regarding that wretched voidsent. Okay, so they're going to ask... He's asking us to go dig into what's going on with Mormo. Works for me. And since we'll probably need to do it, let's go over to the Adventurers Guild too. See what kind of interesting things they have for us. Oh, it's you, Malaria. There I was, spouting the same tired line. Oh, they're calling you the adventure of the moment, which ain't no small praise. You can come all the way to here to listen to be prattled, unless you're eager to get started. So let's see what task she wants from us. Oh. Another second under the sun and I would have been set afire. Hey, there's Papa Sean. It does my spirit well to know that you are the one who will be helping us. The petition in question is submitted by an acquaintance of mine at Amalja & Sons Mineral Concern. It relates to an unfortunate development at Copper Bell Mines. To be plain, giants have seized control of the place. These giants are of the clan known as Hecatonceres, fearsome creatures who were sealed in the deepest depths of the mines during the bygone Thorn Dynasty. Last, it seems they've managed to break through the layer of rock which served to imprison them, and now prowl the tunnels where the miners ply their trade. Creatures are justifiably angry about their treatment at the hands of our ancestors, and it's no wonder they're angry. The Thorn Dynasty came to an end over 300 years ago. By way of enchanted helms, they were able to bind the ferocious creatures to their will, but as off the way in such tales, these enchantments eventually failed in the slavery against their masters. In a desperate bid to contain the unbridled fury, our ancestors induced the collapse of the mine's lower levels, and so it was that the great giant revolt was ended, buried beneath 100,000 tons of rock. Mines were being reopened to meet the rising demand for building materials. No mining at Copperbell so long as they remain. I'll not deny the mission is rife with danger, but our need is great, and so I beg you, put an end to this business. Of course. Employee of Amalja & Sons presently at the quicksand. A fellow named as Painted Mesa. Okay, so we're going to go talk to Painted Mesa before heading off. Oh, hey, look, it's Painted Mesa. Got guts. I hope you got the skills to go with them. Copper Bell was old when the Second Old Dynasty was still young, and it was abandoned centuries ago. Hadn't been for the shortage of materials needed for the rebuilding effort, the concern would never have thought to reopen. We knew full well of the giants, but the project went ahead anyway. I mean, nothing could possibly survive being buried under mountains of rock for 3 centuries. Wrong. Stun torches keep a watch over the entrance in case it's fancy some sunlight and fresh air. Unfortunately for them, that's the wrong way from where we're going. We're going to rent a chocobo. Yep. Do 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 do. Hey, do 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 da 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 ba 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 da 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 bum bum. That will come later, but I had to get it out of my system because chocobo. Hey, see, he's got a nice little outfit on him. Now, you can still be attacked while you're on a chocobo, so it's good to watch out when you're on here. The top one will automatically change to whatever this bar is. It's not a bad thing, it's just a thing. We're going to take a quick jaunt this way. And we'll go... I forgot, there's some gathering I gotta do over here at some point. But not now. I must focus. No squirrels. Oh, hey. It's a marauder. Well, they might not be a marauder anymore. We'll go up here. Oh, looks like we have a lev up here too. Might not be a bad idea for us to do that one. Now, I don't know if I showed it or not, but I did have to come over here for some stuff for before. So I already opened this as a teleport spot. I'm just cheap. Huh. If you seek a definitive work on Mormo, then seek no further. Comes to draining such a creature of its etheric properties, one must... but I have not the time to stand here explaining the intricacies of shaping arcane pottery. Sounds good. I'm going to get this while I'm here. Popo Nagu. Review the details. Oh yeah. Goblins are considered harmless, and we've been granted leave to conduct commerce within the city-state. So we asked that our adventurers simply lead him away from the Almalja lands towards central Thanalan. Okay. You need merely beckon the gullible goblin, Gutrix Silverpix, and leave him to his destination. Okay. But first, I have to find the other two. Oh. He's up here. Humble contribution to the review. It tells the tale of how we become aware of the creature's existence and delves into the nature of the urn that imprisoned. Now, there's one more around here somewhere. Ah, there he is. Or she. She's got a little mask under there. Mormo is truly fascinating, even among the oddities of the voidsent. She's far too powerful to make use of the tiny holes that open between our realities, and thus must send across only her spirit to possess a corpse or some other suitable host. Okay, so now we have all of it. And they want us to return to the... So we're going to do this. Okay, so we're now these particular quests aren't particularly difficult, mind you, but they are kind of time consuming because you have to make sure there's the buzzard. As I was saying, the problem with these particular quests is more the time consumed and making sure that they don't get hurt. But otherwise, they're not really that bad. It's actually decent experience if you're doing it at the level that they would normally do. You gotta watch out because a little bit of it will have the enemies pop out. Lusty-eyed beasties seeking munchings and crunchings. There we go. That looks like something we want. I'm gonna move over here. Let him move there. Oh, where's the Tuku? There's the Tuku. If you leave them alone too long and you don't attack them, then they will attack the person you're trying to protect. And that's not good. As you can see, we do have a certain amount of time limit for this. It's not a horrible time limit, but it is a time limit nonetheless. Oh, too far away. And you do have to watch out for that. It's why you see me pause so often, to make sure that he comes. There we go. And then we can just return to dry meat or dry bone after we're done. Turn it in. We get a bonus for the level, and we're good. We're now clear to use any of the levs here at the dry bone. I'm going to teleport back now just so we can go talk to Coco Boozy. Yep, this way. I don't know why I second guess myself on some of this stuff. There we go. Chapter of the Book of Mormo. Singularly powerful voidsent, the cunning and terrible seductress known as Mormo. With genius born of desperation, the mages of the now fallen city fashioned an urn that would chain and imprison the etheric vitality of any creature that laid a hand or claw upon it. Mormo, believing she was receiving a gift of appeasement from the beleaguered citizens, found her very essence drawn forth and trapped within the ensorcelled pot. Over the course of several centuries, the captured etheric energy was intended to weaken and dissipate, allowing any surviving descendants to safely shatter the urn, and thus destroy Mormo's enervated spirit. The pot's lid was never to be opened again. To do so would release the ravenous voidsent, freeing her soul to enslave the nearest mortal vessel. As possession of this nature is irreversible, the only mercy afforded to such a host would be a swift and decisive demise. This explains Mormo's fixation on thaumaturgicide. Boozy's bodies provided little arcane sustenance for the weakened voidsent, forcing her to prey upon richer sources of Aether. Morsel of information proof most vital. In fact, it may be the only glimmer of hope our poor sibling has. Passengers hold naught but misery and despair. Who is this mad mage that poses as her eldest brother, or what of avoiding the threats, of eliminating the risks? Is that not how we thaumaturgists do battle? With each passing moment, Mormo draws ever closer to her full strength. Pains me to even suggest it, but we must strike now. In return for releasing Coco Boozy from Mormo's thrall, I will offer the voidsent the chance to glut herself on my mana. We have always avoided adversaries against whom we held no advantage. Fault lies with me, ever have I encouraged such avoidance, and taught only the wisdom of certain victory. Time we learn the courage to fight in battles of unsure outcome. There's yet one chapter left in the Yawning Abyss, one that is customarily hidden from newer members. Undertake the trial found within, and show my brothers what it means to be brave. Arcane might you all possess is far greater than you believe, Marianne. You deem yourself prepared for the lesson of the true final chapter? Meet us at the hallowed hall of Thal's Respite. Or Respite. I never quite learned the proper... I've heard it pronounced both ways. We'll do that one. Eventually we'll get around to that. That's totally side quest material right there. So where are we? Okay. There's that one. Where am I going? Oh. Oh, that's all the way the frick over there. I might actually use a teleport. I got distracted by the shiny quest log for over here. Because it's easy enough for us to do this. I'm going to check something right here. Okay, so we do have leveling. Adventurer and Need Healer. Adventurer and Needs tend to get more experience. This being said, there's always a shit ton of DPS, so more often than not we're going to be waiting for anything like that. I probably won't do those do the repeats on as recordings. Excuse me. Just because you've already seen the dungeon, you know what goes on with it. If there's anything special that I want to show in anything, I'll redo it a bit later in a different way, which is arguably a little more interesting. You can see Sastasha and Tam Tam Deepcraft. Guild Hests, I still got to do those. Well, let's talk to Stoneforge. Okay. Understandably, they're worried about the giants. Now, so this area right here is where you mine iron. This is the only place where you can mine. A lot of things only have one location where you can mine them. This is the one for iron. So we're going to teleport over to Camp Drybone. No, we won't use that. We will, however, do this. Oops. I forgot it doesn't stay up. Duty Finder, Copperbell Mines, join. If we're lucky, we'll find something. If not, well... Looks like somebody's over there with very shiny mount. In any case, though, we're starting to go a little long, so I'll see you in the next one. Take care.